So welcome back for our Tuesday maths lesson. Today we are partitioning numbers, so all parts of our consolidation work. So by the end of the lesson you will hopefully be able to partition numbers. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is work out the value of the underlying number. Now I've done lots of practice on this before, so we'll just run through a few examples just to recap. So we've got 298 and it's the 9 that has been underlined. So we need to work out the value of the 9. So if it helps you, above the numbers, write on their place value. So we've got 8 in the units, 9 in the tens and 2 in hundreds. And it's the 9 that we've got to write the value of. So we've got 9 lots of 10, so 9 tens, so the value is 90. Okay, so it really helps if you write on the position, because all you need to do is look at what the column title is and what the value of the number is in that column. So this one we've got 1,604, and this time it's the 1 that is underlined. So again I'll write on units, tens, hundreds, thousands. So this time it's the 1 in the thousands column. So I've got 1 lots of 1,000. So the value of that number is 1,000. Okay, next one. 1,003. So write them on. Units, tens, hundreds, thousands. Now nice and easy this time. We've got 0 tens. So the value would just be 0. And finally, we've got units, tens and hundreds. I need to give the value of the 7. So it's in the units column. So it would simply be 7 units, just 7. Okay, so there's quite a few of those on this sheet for you to do. On section B and C, the first 8 on B and the first 10 on C. Oh no, sorry, no. The first 8 on B, on section B, is you're given the underlined value. Okay, so this time we've got to partition numbers. So we've been given a number, 1,387. And you'll see on your sheet there's an example at the top as well of how to do it. So we've got to basically break it down. So we need to look how many units we've got, how many tens, how many hundreds, and how many thousands. And we split it up, ready to add them back together. So I start with my thousands. So I've got 1,000. And to that, I add however many hundreds. So in my hundreds column, I've got 300. So 1,000, add 300. Then I go to my next column, which is my tens. Got 8 of those, so 8 lots of 10 is 80. And I finish off with my units, which is 7. So I add 7 onto the end. So 1,000, add 300, add 80, add 7, gives me 1,387. So basically I've just broken down the number. The next one is 2,891. So exactly the same method. Start with my thousands first. I've got 2 lots of 1,000 this time. So 2,000, and to that I add my hundreds. So I've got 8 lots of 100, so 800. My tens, I've got 9 lots of 10, which is 90. And then finally my units, I've got 1 of those. So I've broken it down. If I put it all back together, I'd end up with 2,891. So the final one, thousands, hundreds, tens and units. So I've got 6,000, and to that I add my hundreds, which is 3. So 3 lots of 100, 100 gives us 300. Add my tens, only 1 lot of 10 this time, so just 10. And finally add my units, which is 8. And then if I put it all back together, I'd have 6,318. So we've managed to partition those numbers. Okay, and then finally, we want to find out what has been added or subtracted to these numbers to change them from one number to the other. So from 475 to 495. Now the numbers got bigger here, so we know we are going to have to add something on. Now we can see the units are exactly the same, and my hundreds are exactly the same. It's just my tens column that has changed this time. So you need to think to yourself, how do I get from not just 7 but 70 to 90? What do I need to add on? Okay, so from 70, add 10 becomes 80, and another 10 becomes 90. So I've added on 20. Okay, the next one here. So I'll do the same again. My units are the same, my tens are the same, my hundreds are the same. So this time it's my thousands. Now it's gone from 1,000 to 3,000. It's got bigger, so it must have to add. Okay, how many thousand between 1 and 3? So we're going to count in thousands because we're in the thousands column. So we've got 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So we've added on 2 lots of thousands, so we add on 2,000. And finally, this time we've gone from 3,256 to 3,216. So this time it's got smaller, so it must be a subtraction. So my units are the same, my tens are different this time, my hundreds are the same, and my thousands are the same. So this time I'm going to count in tens, but I'm going to go backwards from 50 to 10, because I'm subtracting. So 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay? 40, 30, 20, 10. So I've taken away 40. And the final example, we've got 1,376 to 1,076. So again, we've got smaller. So we're going to subtract. My units are the same. My tens are the same. My hundreds this time are different. And my thousands are the same. So I need to work out how many hundreds between 300 and 0. So start at 300, 200, 100, 0. So I'm taking away 3 lots of 100. Okay, so today's job, okay, you're going to do section B, and if you finish that, you'll move on to section C. Just read the instructions carefully. Lots of finding the value of a number and working out how to get from one number to another. Okay, good luck.